Good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a few things to the E92 M3. We got a special part in the mail that I'm really excited for, and then we also have to fix something in the engine bay. Don't mind the Evo on the lift behind me. That car developed a really bad leak from the passenger rear brake caliper, and it doesn't leak when it's just sitting there. Like, the car sat on the lift overnight and it didn't leak at all. But as soon as you put pressure on the brake, it starts leaking. So whenever Bobby or Jared comes by the shop next, I'll have him at the brake, figure out what's going on there. I think it's coming from the brake line, not the caliper itself, so we shouldn't have to tear anything apart. Should be a really easy fix. I just got to figure out what to fix. So we boosted this thing a couple of weeks ago, and it's been fun. It's been amazing, but I've always wanted to install a boost gauge into it, and I came across this company called P3 Gauges that makes really nice setups. They are a bit on the more expensive end, but trust me, when I show you what's inside the box, you'll understand why the price is the price it is, if that makes sense. So under this clear plastic thing right here that we're going to peel up later on is our boost gauge, and this is a vent, and that vent is going to sit in place of the factory vent right there. The vent, as far as I understand, is still fully functional, and there's not a lot of places. I mean, there's probably some places we could put like an AEM gauge in this car, but it's an E92, it's an M3. I want to keep it as clean as possible. And I don't want just have pods everywhere. So this isn't adding any sort of pod to the interior at all. This is the cleanest setup you can possibly get. And they make them for so many different cars. I'm sure they make them for Subarus. They might make them for Evos. If they don't, they should. And a ton of other cars as well. So this is what we got going on as far as the boost gauge. And then the other project of the day is gonna take quite a bit longer. I've been wanting to do this for a minute. We were waiting on gaskets. The second project of the day, well, probably the first actually, is going to be repowder coating the valve covers. It's gonna be a lot of work because there's so much to take off. It's not like an Evo where it's 2 bolts. We're gonna have to pull off the manifold, potentially the supercharger. Ooh, this is gonna be a lot of work. It's gotta be done though. All of the factory coating on these valve covers is flaking off. So this actually might be a few-day project just because I already know it's so much work. And then in the inside of the valve cover is really what I'm worried about. All that coating's flaking off and just going into our engine oil. So yeah, we gotta get these things redone. I know this is a very common problem with the M3s, with the S65. And I know there's shops that sell pre-powder coated valve covers, but they're like $1,000. Why would we pay when we can just do it ourselves for the cost of powder, which is like 15 bucks? We're gonna match as close as possible the valve covers to the manifold. A nice wrinkle black, and I think it's gonna look so beautiful in this engine bay. We were able to get the blower off fairly easy. Thankfully, we did not have to pull the entire bracket off because that is the most difficult part. The bracket and all the belt, all that BS is fairly difficult. So now we have plenty of space to pull off these valve covers. Let's pull off the coil packs, that PCV breather, and then valve cover should be able to pop out. I am so glad we are doing this. I got the first driver's side valve cover off. Look at inside. This is all some sort of coating. I don't know if it's powder coat or I don't know what kind of coating it is, but it's all flaking off. Check this out. That's all that nasty coating. And I am not a fan of any sort of foreign material being inside of an engine. Crazy, disgusting. I can't wait to get these things sandblasted. Pretty sure they're magnesium. Just by looking at it, I feel like they are. So unfortunately, we can't throw them in that stripper tank because from what I could be wrong. I should probably do some research, but I think that stripper tank will actually dissolve the entire valve cover instead of just the coating. So yeah, I'm gonna get the other valve cover off and we can get these things cleaned up and figure out how to get this coating off. All right, we got both valve covers off. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out these baffles. Looks like there's some Torx heads on there, which is nice. I know Evos are riveted on, you have to bust off the rivet. It's a hassle. So pop those off, take these guys off, remove our cam sensors, and look at how crusty these are. We gotta get these things perfect. Okay, I just talked to the company that I got the powder coat stripper from, and they said as long as you put it in there and don't leave it in there for a very, very long time, I'm talking magnesium parts, that you should be okay. Don't leave it in for like hours on end. He said like 10 minutes max, pull it out, see how they are, clean them up, and then if they need more time, throw them in there for a little bit longer. So let's hope, I'm crossing my fingers that we don't dissolve the magnesium. I don't know where I heard that from. It may be a rumor, but I guess we're gonna find out right here with some very, very expensive S65 valve covers. All right, let's see what that does. I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes. I really don't wanna ruin these valve covers. Definitely a good start. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. Looks like the actual material of the valve cover is good though. Pull these guys out of the tank and this is how it looks. There's still a little bit of coating in some of the areas, but I'm gonna go ahead, bake them, which kind of hardens all the leftover remaining powder coat or whatever that coating was, and then sandblast them so it's a nice, perfect, clean finish. I'm gonna sandblast the inside too, get everything off the inside because that is disgusting. And then we're gonna go ahead and powder coat just the outside. We're not gonna powder coat the inside, of course, just the outside. We got both valve covers blasted, completely ready to go, cleaned up. We're gonna go ahead now and mask everything off that needs to be masked off. So pretty much I'm just gonna mask off the whole underside. If a little bit of powder gets in through those holes, not really too concerned. And then any threaded hole, we're gonna be masking off as well. Looks like we have 8 threaded holes per valve cover. Really excited to get these things coated. Wrinkle black should look nice, same exact as the manifold. And then we're not gonna have to worry about these leaky ass seals anymore or all this junk flaking off. This is something I've been needing to do since the day I got this car. And we're finally doing it. Just threw the valve covers in the oven for a pre-bake or a gas out cycle. It's very important, especially with stuff like this, because there is of course oil all the time on the inside of the valve covers. So I already pre-baked them once, pulled them out, cleaned them up, and I'm gonna pre-bake them again for another 30 minutes at 400 degrees. Ready? Hop on up.
Oh, frick.
What?
That's really high, but you can't even lower it.
Should I hoist you up there?
I got it. I don't know how to do this.
Ready?
Wait. Honey, hold on. Baby, this is not gonna work.
1, 2, 3. Ah!
I'm afraid of heights. Down.
Get up there, you fatty.
No, I just need a chair.
You want a ladder?
Yeah, I need a ladder. Baby.
You're scared of being 3 feet high. falling. What if? Not only would it fuck up one car, it'd fuck up 2 cars and you.
I would be safe.
Get your little head away. All right, we're gonna figure out what the hell is going on with the brake caliper on the Evo 10 real quick, because Bobby's here and she's in the car and she's gonna hit the brakes in 3, 2. All right, hit it. Oh shit, just what I thought. Why is that leaking right there? I already just frickin' put new frickin' sealing washers on that son of a bitch. I initially thought it was that banjo bolt and I put new washers on it again and it's still the banjo bolt. So I'm gonna put new washers on it again, unless something else is going on. All right, hit it. Pump it a few times, I think we're good. No squirts yet. Hell yeah, brother. Go a few more times just to make sure. Is that pedal going to the floor? No. Oh. All right, so what the problem was is there was powder, like built up powder coat, obviously where the banjo bolt sealing washer sits. And I've never had this problem in the past with powder coat, but I shaved the powder coat off that where the sealing washer goes, and we're good to go. So I need to bleed all of the brakes again, I guess, on the car, just to make sure. Wait, do I have fluid? You having fun up there?
Literally roasting hot.
I thought I bought extra fluid. Shit, I don't have fluid. Why do I never have anything that I need, but I have a bunch of shit I don't need? Can you go to the store for me, Bobby? 3 minutes, 47 seconds. I'm gonna powder coat the covers and then we can go to the store. Again, I was just there literally 10 minutes ago, bagging degreaser. Color we're doing today, splatter black from Prismatic Powders. What did I use it on? I used it on something in the past, intercooler piping, and it looks really good. Damn, look at that. Look at that. Do you like the wrinkle look?
Oh yeah, it looks dope.
It matches my plenum, my intake manifold.
Nice.
Sick. Well, these things turned out better than expected.
Oh, you can barely see it.
So as these things cool down for like the next hour, damn, that looks sick. We're gonna fix the Evo. So I'll see you guys in an hour when they're cooled off. Okay. Bobby and I went ahead, got the brakes rebled on the 10, and we also did the clutch as well, just because that reservoir was pretty much completely empty. So she should be good now. Valve covers appear to be ready for install. It's definitely a little bit more shiny than the plenum or the manifold, but I think it's gonna look really nice. Hell yeah, that looks so sick. Everything over here we gotta get cleaned up. The baffles are already cleaned, but all the hardware for the valve covers, I'm gonna degrease, pressure wash, and then we do have to install the baffles back in the valve covers before we can get the valve covers on the car. The more I work on this thing, the more I realize there is zero space in this bay. It's been a real pain to get the valve covers on without the seal falling off. So what I did was just take RTV and put a few dabs on the valve cover and then set the seal on there. And that as soon as that dries, that should hold that seal on there so we can stuff this freaking thing back in where it belongs. I thought I would easily be able to get this whole entire project done today and get that boost gauge installed. There's no way we're even gonna get the valve cover project done. Got the covers on, and I must say that I am super pleased with how they turned out. I think they look absolutely amazing in the bay, and especially when we get the intake back on, it's gonna look so sick. Nice black all black everything. We still have the blower, we still have the manifold, we still have the PCV system. Probably another 2 hours of work in the bay, just because I know that manifold's such a pain in the ass to get on the boots. So if you plan on doing the covers on your E92 M3, I would recommend at least scheduling out 2 days of your life to get the project done, because it's definitely time consuming, and there's no I haven't found like a fast way to do it, just because everything's so freaking crammed in the bay. So I'm gonna pick this video back up in the morning. I'm still on the daily grind, or trying to get videos up daily for you guys. So I'm going to come back in the morning, finish this project up, and then go back to the house, edit, post that video, and then probably come back. And I have 1,000 other things to do on every other car. So yeah, goodbye. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this thing finished up. So pretty much all we need to do, like I said last night, manifold back on, reservoir back on, everything over here, intake pipe, blower itself, headlight, PCB system, and then we should be able to move on to that P3 boost gauge. Oh, and also, I lost 2 of the sealing washers. I'm guessing they're dissolved in the bottom of the tank, so I'd order some of those up. Hopefully that doesn't leak. I might still put the bolts in there, and then whenever the sealing little rubber washers come in, I'll get those installed. I think we're good, boys. That took so long. A couple hours this morning, all day yesterday, just for the valve cover project. I'm gonna kind of clean up the shop real quick, and then I think this boost gauge should be a very, very, very quick install. Maybe like 30 minutes max, is what I'm hoping. But it's BMW, so it's probably 30 hours, minimum. Got all of the coolant cleaned up. Shop is all cleaned up. Here is the final look of the bay with the wrinkle black valve covers. I think it looks sick. I would not want it any other way. Drop a comment below, let me know what you guys think. Okay, moving on to the P3 gauge. This should be quick, let's get her done. So from what I understand, this is pretty much all we need to do. Plug this into the OBD2 port, tap this guy right here and do a boost source using their included hoses. And then I don't think we need to do anything with these wires, I could be wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in real quick and connect that to a boost source and just see if it works by plugging this in, because I didn't find much online about the analog, the 5-volt analog 1 or 5-volt analog 2. And they do offer a optional hardwire kit that we are gonna have to get, because as you can see, and I've seen comments about this before, so I guess I'll explain this thing right here. This is for my insurance. So I am obviously through Allstate. A while ago, we had every single car full time, full coverage all the time, and it was super, super expensive. And then Allstate came out with this thing called, I think it's called MileWise. So you're only paying, how does it work? I think I pay a daily rate on each car. I should be getting paid for this ad. I pay a daily rate on each car, and then a mileage rate on the car I'm driving. So every other car that's in the shop or at the house is always insured for like everything but collision until you drive it. Then it automatically knows you're driving, something weird like that. But nonetheless, my insurance went from like a lot, and it cut pretty much in half, because obviously I don't drive 8 cars at once, if that makes sense. So being that we have to have this installed, I'm gonna have to get the hardwire kit, but for now it'll be okay. Of course, this will be temporary. I'm gonna have to find a nice place in the firewall somewhere to run it, which is probably gonna be a pain. Yeah, it's gonna be a pain, but I'm gonna be tapping into this line right here that goes to our tile BOV. Everything seems to be working fine, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it all installed. We can go on a drive, see what this car actually hits for boost, which is gonna be super nice to monitor. First thing we're gonna do is get the gauge itself installed. Easy part is all finished up. Wiring is done. All we gotta do is plug into the OBD2 port. Gauge is installed. That's how she looks. Such a sick, nice little placement. Such a good idea. Now it's time for the hard part. Trying to figure out where the hell we're gonna run this boost line at. Easiest install ever. Let me show you guys what I did. If you take off that panel right there and look up in here, you see all those wires right there? There's little, what would you call it, like divots in that rubber that you can pop out. Started shoving the boost line through, which is actually like a kind of like a PVC plastic, and I'm going to use that on every car from here on out just because it's such high quality and it makes running the line so much easier versus a full-on rubber line. Heard something creaking around in here, pulled this cover off, found the line, and then ran it under this black cover here. This initially is sitting up there, and we're just going to connect it right to that key fitting and we'll be done. Super simple. I'm excited. Oh my lord, this car's loud. Let's go for a drive, see how the car feels, see how it runs, see if we're hitting any sort of proper boost, and go from there. I'm really excited for this. Well, my friends, we're certainly hitting the boost levels that we want. I saw almost 7 PSI, which I know that doesn't sound like a lot, especially for me, like coming from the Evo 8, where that car on E85 is on 40 pounds of boost, but it's a completely different ball game working with this car, a V8, a supercharger instead of a turbo. We just threw a check engine light and the car does not run. Really bad misfire. The hell is going on now? That was a good rip too. It's a really bad misfire. I'm gonna check over, because I was messing with the coils. I have a feeling that maybe a coil just came unplugged. It's probably something really easy, but the engine bay is so freaking warm now that it's burning me. Either way, I don't like this. No fun. I can't find anything wrong. All the injectors are plugged in because I had those unplugged too. Coils are plugged in, cam sensors are plugged in. That's all the things I can think of. I'm gonna limp it back to the shop. Don't really have another option and we're not that far away. This thing is no power at all. Like, I can't even rev above 1500, 2000 RPM. I have a feeling it's something easy, but the car is just not allowing it to run for shit because it's a BMW. I have a feeling it's something to do with the throttle body actuators, because I used to always throw, or not always, I think it happened 3 times in the lifetime of this car that I've owned it. It would throw a throttle body actuator code, but then you clear it and it'd be fine forever. And then it hasn't. I'm sorry guys, I literally cannot move. My car is fucked. Eat a dick. You'd clear it and then it'd be fine. So I'm gonna go to, yeah. I'm just assuming things right now on this nice, pleasant 10-mile-an-hour drive back to the shop. Great fun. I'm gonna make everybody mad around me, and it's okay. They can cry. She sounds built though. She built. Throttle valve actuator spring test malfunction during opening. I wonder if something underneath the intake hit one of the throttle bodies, because we have all those hoses under there now. That actually very well could be the problem. I'm betting it is. Usually when you have an issue, it's always 99% of the time something that the owner of the vehicle did. I really don't want to pull the manifold off if I don't have to. but I might have to, but I don't want to. Let's clear the codes, fire it up, and see if it runs properly. All right, codes are erased. Yeah. It was fun while it lasted. I'm not gonna work on the car right now. I am kind of sick of, I'm not sick of working on the car, but we just did a lot of work to it. So I cleared the codes, code came back immediately, car went in lit mode immediately. I think if I just pull off the manifold, we should be able to figure out what's going on. And if that's not it, these cars have two very, very common issues. Number one, the rod bearings, which we did right away, because if the rod bearings go, you're done with your motor's gone for you. Take it out, poop on it, throw it in the garbage, it's done. Throttle body actuators, if those go, then the car goes into lit mode like it is right now, and nothing else gets harmed. So that's why I have yet to do the throttle body actuators. Stuff breaks and we just have to fix it. I have a fairly good feeling it's something that we did, but if not, whatever. It's life. I'll go ahead and link this very, very gorgeous wrinkle black powder coat down in the description box below. And then if you guys want to pick up this P3 gauge, I'll link the P3 gauge down below as well. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Peace out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.